Victor Tango, stop, don't take off, stop immediately. After 02, hover away to parallel taxi track, transport aircraft taking off. Very tragic mid-air collision in the US. May God bless the souls of those who have lost their lives in the accident. While the exact reason for the accident would await an inquiry, however, what is amply clear is the importance of prompt, clear, and effective communication between pilots and the air traffic controller. I'm reminded of a very similar situation at an Air Force base at Yelahanka, Bangalore, where you also have the Aero India show, where a helicopter which was hovering over the runway and transport aircraft which was about to take off. How the US-like mid-air collision was averted by a very alert and young air traffic controller at that time. It's a hair-raising incident when you look at it. Anything could have happened at that time had it not been for very alert and professional manner of controlling displayed by the air traffic controller and prompt action by the pilots. Please watch the video. I'm sure it will be a very great learning experience for all the aviators as well as those involved with the aviation. Jai Hind. You would have encountered a number of emergencies, number of challenges, number of satisfying moments. So if you could share that with the viewers.
I think in ATC, you do get a lot of such situations because the aircraft is operating very close to the operating surface when it is taking off and landing. And that is where most of the aircraft emergencies can ultimately manifest in either a great recovery or a fatal accident. That way, the responsibility is tremendous, and the pressure also on individuals who are handling that is also tremendous, both the pilot as well as the controller. Pilot also knows that if he deviates a little bit here and there, he is going to get into problems. And the same thing is with controller. The only difference is that the controller himself is not handling anything. He's only helping the pilot. So that makes it even worse, because sitting inside, there are occasions when you feel like doing something, but you become totally helpless. There is nothing you can do about it, because these are things totally beyond your control. Having said that, what is in your control, if you do it correctly, 99% of the times it will manifest in a very, very safe recovery. That's the very, very critical aspect of the air traffic controlling as far as our Air Force aircraft are concerned. Because these people, get airborne in on many occasions in marginal weather conditions with some issues here and there, which land them into a little bit of a tight situation, so to say, a very, very challenging scenario overall. So I remember a case, I will just give you two examples. One was, that when I was a raw youngster, it was actually a transport base, Yelahanka to be precise, wherein I was still a flying officer. That was my second posting after Kalaikonda. And a transport aircraft was destined to Delhi. He asked for a lineup, and I gave him the lineup. And I also passed him the departure instruction. Now, departure instruction is you tell him how he is going to proceed, but that by no stretch of imagination amounts to a takeoff clearance. It is only a instruction which is given to you that after takeoff, when you take off, this is what you are going to do. But for the time being, it's only a clearance to line up. So he was given a clearance to line up, and there was a helicopter operating on the center of the runway. It was doing some kind of a hovering operation. Who was told, that there is a transport aircraft lining up, so kindly clear off to the parallel taxiway. After some time again, he would have come back there. An old friend from Kalaikonda, a fighter pilot to be precise, was sitting next to me there in the tower. And we were just chit-chatting, more of a chit-chatting, because there was hardly any traffic. 2-3 aircraft only were there. And that guy had just lined up. It was just a matter of chance that I had a look there and I saw this transport aircraft rolling. You can imagine, because he was going to go into that helicopter. The transport aircraft were fully loaded with passengers because it was going to Delhi. A lot of people from Bangalore used to go to Delhi at that time. It was kind of a courier service. And the helicopter, which was operating there, also had 4 or 5 people on board. The distance between those two must have been less than a kilometer. And once it starts building up, and that is the time you have to react. And I very categorically remember having told the transport aircraft immediately to stop. Do not take off. There's a helicopter on the runway. Do not take off. Stop immediately. And in between, I just gave a call to the helicopter, move away to the parallel taxi track, just hover away to the parallel taxi track. There is a transport aircraft taking off behind you. It was just a matter of pure luck, of course, is a very crucial factor that that helicopter did move off and the transport aircraft he took off. He did not listen to my transmissions at all. AOC over there, he came to know of the whole thing. He heard the entire tape conversation, and he came, he patted me on my back, and he told me that, young boy, this is absolutely phenomenal. What you have done, it's a wonderful service. You've saved so many lives. More important is, that your correct transmissions, because they were very crisp and short and very, very effective transmissions which were made. That helicopter pilot, he immediately came to tower and he hugged me and he said, "You saved my life." It was so clear, as to what to do. So I just did whatever you told me to do. And actually, as a matter of fact, I was then taken by AOC. I mean, it became a major issue. I was taken to the SASO there in training command, who was in Bangalore. So that was a good experience, But otherwise, I mean, there have been many things happening.